think it's a bit early. Welcome back. I am back out tonight, waiting for the barn owls. I am nice and early. It's 7:47. I don't expect to see him for another 45 minutes or so. But whilst I was sitting here, I was thinking about all the things that I've watched and learnt over the years, and some things have stuck in my brain, and I've really pretty much got half a dozen things that run through my brain every time I go out photographing or filming wildlife. So I wanted to make a video just explaining the 6 main things that run through my brain all the time whenever I'm out filming, and hopefully with those things in mind it helps me get sometimes that perfect shot for me that I look at and it gives me a big grin. Lighting. So everything from the morning glows to the lovely orangey redness of the night time. We've got face lighting, side lighting, backlighting. Backlighting is great for kind of silhouette images. Side lighting gives you kind of that definition. The midday sun is very harsh for lighting, and the contrast between light and dark, it doesn't give any sense of emotions. I don't get emotive pictures from it. And my favourite lighting is side lighting. I was lucky enough 4 or 5 years ago to photograph these lions, mum and their cubs, and where we were staying we had access 24/7. So we got up before dawn one morning, we wandered around and we'd gone past where the lions are, and I could hear them in the dawn light, and I began to see their movements. And mum was keeping the cubs really close by, and where the sun was coming up, rising just over the edge of this hill, that I knew the second it hit over the top of that hill, it would give them this beautiful light. And you can see from the images here that have probably been my biggest selling images and have been one of my favourites, I think, that I've taken, especially of the mum and the cub. But the cubs are gorgeous, but I think the lighting on the mother is beautiful. That morning light, that is what I am considering an emotive image. Wind is another thing that is constantly on my mind. Now there's so many kind of things you could say and categorise about wind, but I try to categorise it. My brain has kind of split into 2 modes for land mammals and birds. Now obviously with land mammals they have a great sense of smell, so I'm just keeping an eye out for the barn owls as well. Just some cabbage white butterflies. Yeah, land mammals, land animals with a good sense of smell. I don't want the wind on the back of my neck, because then they are downwind of me, they can smell me. So I always want gold crest or yellowhammer. I always want the wind in my face. I want to be upwind from them, or from the side, but I definitely want to be upwind. Now with birds, I want the wind on the back of my neck, so I'm facing the birds, because birds will land and take off against the wind. So you know whether they're coming in or taking off. You're going to get that view on their face and of the wings, and not of their arses as they're landing. It's a section my brain kind of puts it down as tactics, meaning I guess it's what my plan is. Whether I'm upwind or downwind, especially when it comes to mammals, you don't want them to see you. If they do see you, it's not game over, but it's important, I think, and it doesn't matter for me what animal it is, if I'm heading towards it, I will try and slowly zigzag towards them, not directly at them like a predator would. I try and zigzag towards them to get closer without trying to make direct eye contact. I try and keep that to a serious minimum. If they do see you and they see you zigzagging and looking down, my brain says that to a certain degree they think you're foraging and not predating on them. Including in that, I class the camouflage clothing that we can wear to, disguise ourselves, hands, face. I've got some pictures here of the various kind of ponchos and ghillie suits that I've got. I've got videos on them if you want to have a look down at my list. I do have a couple of playlists. They are to do with either wildlife or reviews, and I've got my concealment in some of those videos. Eye level. Eye level is a very important one again. If the animal's on the ground, get down and dirty. You want to be eye level with them. It's important to get that eye contact, to get that engagement that you feel yourself as you're taking the picture and others will see when they look at those images. If you can get engagement and connectivity with that creature, whether it's a bird or a buffalo, it draws you into the image as opposed to it just being a documented picture of an animal you once saw. Isolation is the next thing that goes through my mind, and that's about isolating the subject within your image, whether it's full frame in the image or whether it's part of an environmental kind of image. You want as little as possible behind the subject as you can get that will distract you from your main subject. Now it's okay if you have got things behind it, as long as it's a way behind. Anything that's in focus or close to it will distract you from the main subject. Now if you do have something behind it that you can't really get away from, if it's either directly behind it or very, very close to it, try repositioning yourself to the side so you can move that subject that's behind it either out of frame or at least not in line with the animal. And to be fair, with the cloning technology we have in post-editing, you could probably just kind of swipe that out of the picture, full stop. Action is something I find over the tens of thousands of images I've taken in the last 35 years, 10 years more specifically in wildlife. The ones that I have as kind of my top 20, 30 images, they're all photos with action in them. Having motion in a photo, it gives me the what the feeling, whether it's what the hell are they doing, or to just see it and go, what the wow. So something that makes me think what the hell, what the hey, what the is important. So they are half a dozen things that run through my brain every time I sit down, like tonight, to take photos. Now I have got the sun directly behind me. That's because I haven't got any choice of where I'm sitting, and I will, if you look at this camera, yeah, where I'm sitting, so I don't really have much of a choice in it, but the field is this side of me. So if the barn owl flies past and looks at me, it is going to be directly on because I've got the sun right behind me, but there's not much I can really do about that. But as long as I get the eye contact and that nice sun glow, it should be beautiful. I have taken some pictures in the last few weeks. I shall quickly flick up on here while I'm talking to you. And I had a great evening photographing them, but I'm hoping that they'll be a little bit earlier tonight. I'm still trying to get used to my new camera, and I think I have my ISO cranked up, so they're not, pin sharp. So I'm hoping that tonight I can get some much pin sharper images. There's so much more involved in photography than just the half a dozen that run through my brain. Everything from camera choice, lens choice, settings, post-processing, it just continues. These are the things that run through my brain that will hopefully give me a good chance of getting that image that gives me that smile. Well, if you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't subscribe, I'd love you to. Justin, if you're watching this video, it was lovely to meet you tonight. Thank you for the idea of the app. I am going to start using it. It sounds like a damn good app. So now I'm going to spend the rest of the evening It is 8:15 and I'm hoping that the bino will be out soon. So time for a cup of coffee, chocolate biscuit, set myself in. If I get any footage of the binos tonight, I'll rack them up at the end of this video. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.